What is up, everybody? You are tuned into another episode of the Juicebox Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK, and we got the Dubon Fan Club president, Mr. Chris Moreno, here in the house. And as always, sweet B Bones, Mr. Bryles. What's going on, fellas?
Oh man, like it's the weather's been so much better. So now we've actually got Little League baseball going. So that's been pretty much my entire week leading up until tonight. So man, I'm good. We got some news going on with the Astros. I'm ready for another action-packed episode. Browse, how's your week going?
Good, man. We got a flurry of stuff going on in MLB right now. There's just been a few transactions, especially as of last night and today, that have gone down. So, I know we're going to get into that here in just a little bit, but it's been a great week, man. How about you, PK?
Man, it's been good. It's been a good week. So one more day to the weekend, and that's always a good thing. I got my squares for Sunday today. Not 100% confident in them. However, I do have squares. So
let's go safety.
Yeah, let's go. I forget what I had. I think I had 0 and 2 and 1 and 7. So 1 and 7 is not bad, but it's not it's not 7
great.
zeros. It's not 7-7. It's not 3-7. So either way, got a big game this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that just because it's always fun to get around the fam and put something on the pit and be surrounded by friends and enjoy it. So that's what's been going on with me and what's going on this weekend. Quick little Bregman update. We just talked about it right before we went on came on live. Ari Alexander posted about 17 minutes ago that the Astros have improved their initial offer to Mr. Bregman. That was two sources that told Channel 2. However, the improved offer is unlikely to get the deal done. So again, it's a whole bunch of nothing. Just that's literally the most recent news for Bregman, just in case anybody was wondering.
Did they give an update on what the number was, or did they just say they bumped it up?
So his tweet didn't say anything about didn't give any numbers other than two sources told him that they did increase it. Now, could be, who knows? Who actually knows what it is? The most recent report, which is funny, is that he's not looking for a short-term deal like the one that's been reported here recently with the Cubs, which was like 4 years, north of 100 with 2 opt-outs. Get ready for this, guys. He's looking for a 6 to 7 year deal. I wonder where he could get a 6-year deal.
Huh. I don't know. Maybe Detective Browse could help us out.
Yeah.
Because I could have swore there's at least one team that I might have read about that offered him a 6-year deal. Can you think of any team, Browse, that might have offered him a 6-year deal?
Oh, maybe 6 and 156. I don't know who that could have been, and whose offer could have still been on the table from day one all the way until now.
It was probably the Marlins.
Anyway,
I'm putting my number on Rockies or Marlins.
Maybe Pittsburgh. Who knows?
Yeah, Oakland. Hell, who knows?
Oh no.
But yeah,
you get that wrong. That's West Sacramento. And don't.
No.
I can't. It's got to be
call them that.
West Sacramento.
Because Sacramento's so huge that they have.
Yeah,
you gotta let them know.
I don't think I give a shit enough. Whatever, Sacramento. Who cares? It's the A's.
Yes. So that is the update on the Bregman news. Chris, what you got, man?
It's just like, can we end this saga already? I mean, like, I'm at the point. I'm done. He's not coming back. He's going to sign some wonky deal with either Toronto or the Cubs, and they're going to line it with a bunch of opt-outs after every single year. He'll end up like Correa. And
I'm just going to say that.
I'm just ready for this crap to be over with. Like, I already have a rant that I'm going to go into today. I don't need another one. So that's all.
I think you should. I think this use this as your sports therapy for the next 25 minutes and 40, and 16 seconds. So it was fun. We had a guy we work with this week that asked me what I thought about Bregman and how do I want him back? And I told him the same thing we talked about last week, which was, well, last week I was cool with it. Like, cool, bring him back. Let's move Paredes and all this and that. And this week it's like, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And it's that's where I'm at too. So let's just end this thing.
Yeah,
Yes or no? You coming or not?
Yeah. I don't even care if he signs with Toronto. I don't care at this point. I mean, it's just like, but I don't ever want to hear him take out, like, I don't want to hear or see him take out a page in the Chronicle and I wanted to stay in Houston, because that's a lump of crap. If you wanted to stay in Houston, this deal should have got done like 3 months ago. So I don't want to hear it.
No,
I had a boy, Chris.
I don't want to hear it.
I totally agree. And you know what? We've come to find out that what is this all about? It's all about the money. And I'm going to talk to you here for a second, Mr. Alex Bregman. If it's all about the money, you're here. You've got HEB money. You've got salsa money. You've got a barbecue sauce out here, which is all being put out in the grocery stores. And on top of that, guess what? Texas is tax-free. You want to go to Toronto?
Go.
Why don't you go see how much you're going to be paying in taxes in Canada? It is going to be way different from living here. Here's another thing I'm going to put out there. Your entire family is from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and your entire huge fan base, which is also the Astros fan base, is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, because you are an LSU alum. So what the hell are you doing? Stop screwing around. We've got a good offer on the table. I guarantee you, nobody is going to go 7 years on you right now. Even if you get a higher AAV, by the time you start paying your taxes and talking to your CPA, you're going to lose. So what are you doing right now? Just sign the damn contract that's been there for the entire time and get this thing over with.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Who
agree. the hell
That was
knows?
my rant.
Who in the hell knows what's going to happen? Tomorrow's a new day. If I see another tweet about today's a good day for Alex Bregman to sign, I think I might just keep, basically
just delete X and just move
delete
on
X.
with my life.
I'll just hit the 3 ellipses that says "Do not see any more from this from this user." So
right.
So that's the news for the updated news, like very recent for Bregman. So I don't know if y'all heard, man, we got a lefty outfielder this week. Our problems are all solved. They signed the one that they call Mr. Ben Gamel.
PK the comedian.
That's right. I'll be here all night. Well, for the next 23 minutes.
We
got a lefty outfielder for a year. I don't even remember, 5 maybe. Year 5 mil. I don't even 3 mil, something like that.
1.2.
No, it was. I think it's 1 million.
It's fantastic. Maybe look, maybe he will do. Maybe since we didn't get Profar, he will pull a Profar and have like a resurgence to whatever his best year ever was.
I doubt it. All right, so I guess we're just gonna go straight for violence this episode, man. So
Chris woke up and chose violence today.
Oh man, like when I saw that this morning, my initial thought was straight disappointment, to be honest with you. And I get it. Gamel had a nice little piece with us last season. But it's like at the end of the day, when I look at this roster of outfielders that we have, and that's McCormick, Myers, Taylor Trammell, and now Ben Gamel, and I guess you're going to throw Dupont in there too. I see an entire outfield roster of platoon guys that, are either they platoon or they're backup outfielders. And it just pisses me off because it's like, what are we doing? I sat here pretty much and I was just like, I was talking to David this morning and I was like, David, it's like, I think I'm at my breaking point, because it's like, I'm not saying, we've, us three, we have been Astros fans we've personally, all three of us have been games. We've been to Astros games when they were in the dome, right? And I would like to think that not one thing I've heard from any one of us three where we were completely outlandish with, hey, we need to go get, let's go sign Juan Soto, then we'll sign Teoscar Hernandez, and then we'll just sign every high dollar free agent. Normally everything that I've kind of heard so far was pretty legit. I'm like, okay, hey, let's kind of do something here. Let's kind of do something there. Let's not go crazy. And, when I look at this Ben Gamel signing, it's just like, I could build a better outfield and not spend a crap ton of money. Now I understand for us, 3 million, 5 million. I mean, that's a huge chunk of change, right? But when you're dealing with an entire roster where, a $2 million deal is super duper cheap. Like you look at, PK, you brought up Profar last season. And it's just like I look at the guys that have been signed in the last like month and a half. And these are guys that, again, I'm not saying these are all-star players. I'm not saying these are guys that are going to turn the team around and now we, are murderers row, right? I mean, but you look at guys like Randall Grichuk, just signed a couple days ago, 5 million, right?
Yep, with the
You look
D-backs.
at Austin Hayes. He signed like a 1 or 2 year or $2 million deal. Tommy Pham just signed with the Pirates for 4 million.
Yeah,
Right?
likes to fight guy.
You need a guy that likes to fight. Sometimes, you need somebody that likes to fight. And
Look at
then
Bader.
really my first thing that I popped in my head is how much is Verdugo asking for if your
That's
big
what I'm saying.
outfield sign-in is Ben Gamel? Unless he's thinking that he's going to get like Michael Conforto money, which is like 10 or 11, 12, 13 million dollars, then I can understand, okay, cool story for Verdugo, we're going to pivot. But you look at how much McCormick's making. McCormick's making almost $3.5 million. Well, you could have let him go, and you could have gotten Austin Hayes to replace him. Austin Hayes is a starting outfielder, right? And Myers is another 2 million. So between both of them, you're looking at close to like 5.5 million. So you could have gotten Grichuk for 5, and then instead of signing Gamble, you could have gotten let's say Austin Hayes. So you get Austin Hayes, Randall Grichuk, and let's say you keep Jake Myers. And then looking at stats for Taylor Trammell, and they're ugly. They're not very good. And my thing is that if you're going to give at bats to somebody who's going to hit less than 200, give those at bats to Pedro Leon. I mean, let Pedro Leon get a crack at it, and then if he happens to not do anything, then you send him down to AAA. You give Jake Myers a starting nod, and then maybe you call up DeZenzo to be your fourth outfielder, and just kind of see how that works. It's just very disheartening, and it's very frustrating to see this lineup of complete ass when it comes to these outfielders. And again, I'm not saying that McCormick can't have a bounce back year. I mean, but if your biggest hope is that McCormick has a bounce back year, because we know Myers is going to hit 220, maybe 230, but he's not going to have this. I don't see Myers having this breakout year where he hits 270. I don't think it's going to happen. So it's just like I know everyone's tired of talking about the outfield. It's just when I saw us sign Ben Gamel, it hurt my soul, because I felt like if you wanted to go cheaper, then you had options, better options than what you have in your outfield right now. And again, I'm not saying sign Teoscar Hernandez, go sign Juan Soto. I mean, these are capable starting everyday major league outfielders that you got, that the teams that signed them got them for pretty cheap. So that's it. I'm done with the outfield. That's my outfield rant. Welcome back, Ben Gamel.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit more glass half full on this. And hey, don't get me wrong, because I feel the same way. And a lot of times when it comes to the outfield and what we're doing right now. But I mean, we saw some dominoes fall this week when it comes to free agency. So we don't know who's got the money to spend out there. We don't know what's going to happen and what our budget looks like. We've been told about the luxury tax and what we've got moving forward. However, Bregman hasn't signed anywhere. We already talked about that. I'm not going to pontificate on that forever. But I'm telling you, if he does end up,
big words,
those are college words.
Sorry,
I'll stop
talking. I'll stop talking about that. But anyway, point being is if he goes and signs with the Tigers, he goes and signs with the Blue Jays, wherever he goes, if he doesn't come here, I think the very first thing we're going to do is sign Verdugo. And I know that the reports have been from, out of the Astros camp saying that, oh, well, we'll go over the luxury tax if we get Bregman. But I'm serious. I think that they will actually go spend some money if they really think that it's going to be able to push the team forward. Now, Chris, you made some really good points about some of the kids we've got coming up from Sugarland. Don't get me wrong. I want to see those guys out there too. So don't like just go spend money to spend money. So if you're going to have like a mishmash or whatever of guys in the outfield, yeah, bring up some of these guys. Let's see what they've got. Hopefully Leon's gotten better since last year. Let's see what some of the other guys have got and go from there. But at the same time, I think the signing today was a depth move. I think I don't see Ben Gamel as being a starting left or right fielder, either one. What I do see him being is like that fourth outfielder. He's your new Jake Marisnick is what he is. That's the way I see him as of right now.
That's not making me feel better either. So it's not. And you said, I thought you said that was a depth. I thought you said depth. I was like, yeah, it's definitely the depth to our outfield. But then
No,
actually, I thought that's what you said also, but you said depth. You said depth.
Yeah,
depth.
I'm
but
silent P.
But what I'm saying is, you have the depth. You you have the depth. There you go, using those big college words again. It's just like it frustrates the hell out of me, man, because it's like, you had. I mean, you could have gotten guys that you could start, and it's just, again, I don't want to beat this into the ground because I'm tired of freaking talking about it. But it's just like, I mean, holy moly! I mean, these guys, these are not $15 to $20 million a year guys, and I mean, it makes me think that was their move, would be either bust this luxury, this next level with Bregman, or we're going to roll with what we're going to roll with. But then it's just like, then you really get to the next step of it. So let's say come July, let's say we're in first place in the division. How are we going to upgrade our outfield? You're not going to trade, Chas McCormick for a starting outfielder. It's going to come from our farm system. And we have 3 guys, maybe 4 or 5, as far as like, big names in our farm system. So it's going to have to come from there. So it's like, I don't want to give up any of these kids that we have up and coming from the farm for an outfielder. I feel like you could have solidified your outfielder with any one of these 4 guys that I named: Austin Hayes, Randall Grichuk, Tommy Pham. I mean, you had depth in, McCormick, Myers, Pedro Leon. Now they're talking about DeZenzo playing left field. So you had depth. I mean, but you need somebody to start. I mean, because what everybody seems to forget is the only reason why Ben Gamel got as much playing time as he did is because Tucker got hurt. Now, Ben Gamel wasn't going to start over Kyle Tucker. Obviously he wasn't going to start over McCormick, and McCormick was ass last year. Same thing with Jake Myers. So it's like, great, you added another backup outfielder to our slew of backup outfielders that we have.
Let's be honest. All of them are backup outfielders.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And that's what's frustrating, because it's like, what are we going to platoon our entire outfield? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, man, it aggravates the hell out of me, man, because it's like, I'm not saying go get Juan Soto, even though Juan Soto is long gone. But what I'm saying is, like, I understand, you don't want to blow to the next level of the luxury tax. I mean, but there's guys that are totally affordable. And I don't know why we're not kicking the tires. I mean, I don't know why we're treating Myers like he's 2017 George Springer, or we're treating McCormick like he's 2019 Michael Brantley. Because none of these guys are it. I don't know. Like I said,
I like this version of Chris.
Yeah, my blood pressure is already way too high. So
he's not Homer Chris tonight.
No, I'm trying to find out, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing.
Let me tell you what we're doing. Backup outfielders.
Let's get Chris Lisinopril and PK. Tell us what we're doing.
We're moving on to spring training. Pitchers and catchers report in 1 week.
Oh yeah, there we go. Finally,
yes. And so baseball is we are right there now. in honor of the newly released spring training hats, I tried to find the hat closest to the creamsicle hat that we have for the spring training. So this was last year's hat that I thought was pretty clean, but essentially it's this color, the entire hat for spring training. So thoughts on the creamsicle hats for spring?
First of all, they're not new. It's the same damn hat they had last season, and it looks like ass.
Well, it's new for 25, Chris. Good Lord.
They
It
put
does have a new patch on the side.
It does have a new patch.
It was the same on the new patch. Cool
So
story.
it's new. It's different.
Why can't I mean the hat looks like ass. I will not be buying it. I mean, it's like give me something to be excited about. I mean, come on, man. I mean, like you have these other teams that do like their throwback, you can't do a throwback late 90s and maybe make it like a blue and orange to match the colors for that they're wearing now. Give me something, but you can't recycle the same hat and just put Florida 2025 on it and call it
Well,
new.
maybe they can bring back that hat that didn't exist from last year that you swore.
You know what? And that's because that's the first thing I did for the last couple of days. I was like, when they drop the new spring training hats, I'm gonna order it because I should have ordered that hat. That's probably the best looking hat I've seen. But I will say I do like it. It existed for like 2 days, and then they took it down.
How many work hours did we spend trying to find it? Like a lot.
Enough for us to probably get fired if people found out what we were doing.
I'm on New Era. I'm like, dude, is that it?
No, we were on every website. It was
but I will say though, their new batting practice hats look pretty clean. Like they're like the navy blue and like the gray. So at least there's that. So
the ones that are like the one PK's wearing right now, except they're like navy blue, like gray, and then like another shade of blue. Yeah, those are super clean.
So needless to say, I will not be spending my money on a new spring training cap. I will be saving it for the new Corpus Christi hooks hats that they have.
Look,
those are nice.
Those are sweet.
I know John in our chat, he's down in Mercedes, right? So Chris, he's like you, Chris. He's a promotions guy, right? And
so ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'm not making fun. I'm just saying what I'm saying is he goes to Corpus Christi often, right? Because they have the same promotions that we have up here for the most part. So but yeah, man, those new hats for the hooks are like disgustingly awesome. So I will be rocking one of those here soon. So I like those a lot actually.
So Houston marketing team, just to give you a heads up, you might want to promote your AA marketing guy up into the big leagues.
Now keep his ass down there so we can keep getting good minor league stuff.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think we're talking about making a trip down to Corpus Christi probably sometime in March, probably during spring break. So if I haven't ordered it by then, I'll be taking orders, and I'll be Santa Claus. I'll be spring break Santa Claus, bringing back Corpus Christi stuff.
Yeah, because that long sleeve Columbia that Browse put in our chat, that was filthy also.
Yeah. The only thing is hopefully they don't sell out too quickly.
Well, I didn't.
So that would be my only thing. I may go buy one probably tonight or tomorrow night, just so that I catch them before they sell out.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
So I know.
Fair.
Yeah, wasn't on our to-do list as far as tonight, but those spring training hats are ugly. So
ass,
whatever.
Or ass. All right, so there's the spring training. So what we decided to do this week, because we told ourselves we weren't going to talk about Bregman and we weren't going to talk about the outfield. And we started the episode with Bregman and the outfield, partly because it's my fault since we had that news like 10 minutes before the episode went live. So anyway, what we decided to do this week was each pick a player just to kind of remind people, or maybe you forgot about it. Well, not oh shit, but oh yeah, this guy was an Astro. That's what we've come up with this week. I'm going to start mine off because I kind of want to. So
there you go. I like it. Way to take initiative.
this might not be for y'all and oh yeah, he was an Astro, but for me it was. And the only reason that it kind of, when I saw this dude, I instantly thought of the episode was I was watching the MLB Network here recently, and they did a 2011 St. Louis Cardinals World Series thing against the Rangers. You know, the Rangers were like a strike away from winning, right?
Twice.
Anyways, so I'm watching that and I see Octavio Dotel for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Now, of course, Puma's on the team, right? So like you're gonna know. But when I saw Dotel, I was like, oh damn, I forgot. Like I did. Like I really did forget about Dotel. I mean, and so I've got he was with us from 2000. Looks like halfway to 04 because he played for Oakland and Houston that year. But yeah, man, when I saw him on that little, you know, postseason documentary, I just kind of forgot that Octavio Dotel was on the Astros, you know, in the early 2000s. Well, yeah, early 2000s. So I mean, and I forget how, you know, he wasn't bad. Like he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad at all.
You know,
didn't he replace Billy Wagner as a closer?
Yeah, because he
did. He was his setup man.
Yeah, it was a setup man, and then moved in once Wagner left. But then after Houston, he played for like 19 other teams, dude. So if you go on like his baseball reference, you know, because it has all the numbers for every jersey he's played. Like I think it's like 12, like for real, like 12 different teams. But before us, it was the Mets in '99, then Houston for, you know, 4.5, and then after that, it's like every other team in baseball. So my guy was Octavio Dotel. And
you know what? You know, you bringing up Dotel, in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He was an Astro. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's my dude. That's my dude for this week.
All right, bro. What
you got, man?
All right, you ready for this? 2013, your second pitcher in WAR with a 2.76 ERA. Anybody want to take a guess?
What year was that? What year? 2011?
2013.
13. So we would have just moved to the American League. Would that be Eric Bedard?
That is Brett Oberholzer.
Damn it.
I forgot about both those guys.
We had Eric Bedard for a half minute, but 2.1 WAR. We had him from 2013 to 2016. And 2013 by far was his best year, but that was the first year we were in the AL, and he actually ended up getting bumped up into the second spot in our rotation. Now, keep in mind, this was the dark years.
Yeah, that is terrible.
So it's not the best period to be talking about, but if we're talking about like, oh yeah, we had that guy, that's the guy we had. And you know what? He actually had good stats and pitched really well for us. So Brett Oberholzer, if you're out there, you're not listening to this. I know that. But if one of your buddies is, then tell him hi and give him a pat on the back.
That's right. You let him know also that you were not forgotten. You know, speaking of Oberholzer, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was maybe 2014, 2015. I remember him because they were playing the Yankees at home. And I remember like he was getting absolutely shelled. So then like he threw at one of the Yankees. I think it was A-Rod. I don't know. I don't remember who it was. But I just remember he intentionally threw at him. And then they immediately ejected him from the game. By the end of the night, he was sent down to the minors and we never saw him again.
It's a way to go out, though.
Good old Brett Oberholzer. God, that was a painful time. Ugh. That was brutal. Okay, so my guy, and I'm a little upset because this guy should have a statue right next to he should have a statue right next to Biggio and Bagwell. And it blows my mind that he doesn't, because this man changed the game for all Astros fans. Now, for you guys that maybe you're newer to the Astros, probably during this last run, you probably have never really like known an Astros second baseman that was not Jose Altuve. But this was one of the guys. I think he was maybe our first guy that we signed that was Japanese. And my guy that is gone but not forgotten would be Kaz Matsui. And I think he came in right after, I think Biggio retired. His first year was his best year. He had a 1.3 WAR, hit 293. So everything kind of looked up the post Biggio years at second base. And then he kind of went to being mediocre. And then he fell off Mount Everest, and he finished up his baseball career as an Astro. So for you, like I said, you younger fans, you might not have ever known a second baseman that was not Altuve, but before there was an Altuve, there was a Kaz Matsui.
Kaz freaking Matsui.
He is my, oh yeah, he was an Astro.
There's a good one thing I remember about him. He was the only person to ever go on the IL that I'm aware of with anal fissures.
Hey, I don't judge what that man does in his
tell you what,
time. Man, I don't judge.
I tell you what, you know that saying that you learn something new every day. That is my one thing today that I've learned. That right there, no idea that he was that's what put him on the injured list.
Was he on the injured list for like 20 days? What happened?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that was another transitional time, I think because that was after Jeff Kent, right? Jeff Kent was gone. Biggio moved back to second base, and then Biggio retired. And then
that's when Hunter Pence was your best player, and you sent him to Philadelphia.
Yep.
Yeah, him. You still had, I think, Roy Oswalt. I think you had Michael Bourne on that team too. And I want to say within 2 years.
Well, and I say best player, but that was your most tradable player to get any kind of talent back.
So really that 2008 Astros team pretty much paved the way for the run that we had, because had that team done anything besides do what it did, which led us to slowly start trading everybody away and start tearing it down for the rebuild. So really, if you think about it, we should owe a big thanks to the 2 World Series and the run that we were on, the guys like Kaz Matsui. And that's all I could get. It's the only guy I could think of.
I mean, look, dude, you want to talk about a painful stretch of baseball until we were good these last 10 years. I mean, it was painful. You know, I mean,
it was brutal.
It was
like painful. I remember just looking at the guys that we would sign. We were talking about the one-hit wonder, PK, and I think you said Lucas Harrell.
Yeah.
I remember us signing Philip Humber right after he threw that perfect game.
Yep.
And then I remember, the main thing I remembered from that whole stretch of us just being hammered ass was Bo Porter was the manager. And that first year that he was the manager, he wouldn't let anybody wear during spring training and have their names on the back of the jersey, because his whole thing was that you had to earn your last name on the back of the jersey.
That's cute.
And I just remember going to spring training and not knowing who anybody was, because there was really nobody on that team that was a lock to be on the team. Because I think maybe he had Altuve. That was it.
Well, short of Berkman, it's everybody was number 97 anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for this week, y'all. Right? Next week,
I don't have anything else.
Next week we've got a special guest. Astros Future will be joining us next week.
Yeah, we will have Jimmy from Astros Future. So I'll be putting out, if you guys have any questions. Now, this is the guy, his whole meaning in life is Astros minor league players. So I'm going to put this out. PK is going to put it out. Browse is going to put it out as well. So if you have any Astros minor league questions, this is the guy that you need to ask.
This is the dude.
We'll have him on we'll have him on next week, and which will pretty much coincide with pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. So
that's it, man. We're looking forward to next week. It's gonna be great. Browse, you got anything?
I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to next week. It's gonna be fantastic. Hope everybody has a good week out there.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Please, if you're new, thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on X at Juicebox Heroes. We're on Facebook, Juicebox Heroes, and we will see y'all next week. I am PK, and that's Chris, that's Bryles, and you're listening to the Juicebox Heroes podcast.
Great job, guys. Great job.
I like your rant, bro. That was awesome.